Hey everyone, this is Kevin, and this is My Digital Retirement. On my channel, I talk about everything related to retirement from a Gen Xer's perspective and not just the financial aspects. I cover everything. And today we're going to talk about specifically, can you retire or how can you retire on just Social Security alone? There is a large chunk of Gen X now who are in a situation where they haven't saved enough and they need to figure out how to make up that gap as much as they can in the time that they've got left before retirement. So saving more in the 401k, saving more in the Roth IRA or other investments where possible, making sure that we're getting out of debt and going into retirement without that burden of extra debt. So let's jump in. There is an average savings for Gen X of about $48,000. And again, that's an average, and you may have saved more, you may have saved less. Some people have saved nothing. So I think that's a very important factor in this discussion is how much have you saved for retirement? And it's time to be honest with yourself about what your situation is and where you are in terms of how much time do you have until you're going to retire and what are your goals in retirement. So it's important to determine, are you going to be content with being a homebody and not doing a whole lot just within your community, or do you have aspirations to travel? So let's talk a little bit about the numbers from a Social Security standpoint. In 2024, the monthly Social Security payment averaged $1,862 per month. And the maximum that anybody would receive in 2024 was $3,822. In order to receive that max payout, you would have to have earned $168,600, annually across your 35 highest earning years. So you can just see the difference between average at 1862 and 3822 for max payout. So the question again is, can you retire? Can you live on Social Security alone? It's going to come down to your personal numbers for Social Security and for personal expenses. So let's dive into that. First of all, are you going to have children that still live at home when you retire? Are they still in high school or younger? Or do you have kids that are in college that you're supporting financially? Do you have parents that you support financially? When you go into retirement, do you expect to have those expenses for supporting other people aside from yourself and maybe your significant other? Those are important considerations. Okay, so let's jump into the expense side of the equation. So are you going to be in a home where you have a mortgage payment, or will it be paid off? Or are you going to be renting? The average cost of a mortgage right now is about $2,200 a month, so fairly significant. Then are you going to have a car payment? The average car payment for a new car right now is around $700 per month. And then you've got the insurance and you've got the maintenance and the gas and everything that goes with that. You have utilities, so gas, electric, water, sewer, garbage pickup, things like that, that you'll have to factor into the equation. You have cell phones, you have entertainment expenses like TV. Are you paying for cable TV, satellite TV? Are you streaming? Do you have streaming services? All those things need to be factored into that budget. And then, of course, we have to eat. So what about groceries? You've got a grocery budget where you will need to factor that in on a monthly basis. Are you eating out? And how much are you eating out? If you're going to retire prior to the age of 65, you will not be able to get Medicare until you turn 65. So you will likely need medical insurance coverage until you turn 65. So there's an expense there. And are you planning to travel? There are unexpected expenses that pop up in retirement as well. They could be medically related. They could be related to your home or to your car. Maybe you have your air conditioning go out or your furnace on your home. So some things could be major expenses, things that need to be considered. Again, it all comes down to the numbers, so let's take a minute here and look at the actual numbers and see what they show. Okay, let's take a look at a budget on the left-hand side of this board. Let's start with your Social Security on the budget. So if you're getting the average payment of $1,862 and you have a spouse, let's just assume that they made less than you, so they're going to get half of your benefit. So you're looking at about $2,803 per month on average, according to 2024 numbers. Now let's dive into the monthly expenses. Let's say you're carrying a mortgage payment and you're at the average of $2,200 a month. You have a car payment of $700. You have credit card debt of $500 a month. And then you have your utilities and groceries, gas for your car, insurance for your car. I'm putting a question mark on travel and medical insurance. So if we add all these expenses up, we see that we're at $4,950. And if we put in the Social Security that we receive each month, that means that we're going to have a shortfall or a deficit of almost $2,150. And then you'll see just below that, we've got other income. So let's say you're not one of those people who has not saved anything and you do have a 401k or a Roth IRA or some form of savings that you've put together for retirement. So you could add monthly to the amount that you're getting from Social Security to supplement that and bring down that gap of almost $2,150. But you see the impact that debt can have on trying to live on Social Security alone. So let's take a look now at the scenario without debt. We are going to say in this scenario that our house is paid off, but we will still have property taxes and insurance that we have to pay. And depending on where you live, that will dictate what yours is going to be, but I'm putting in $500 for that. We're going to put 0 for car payment, 0 for credit cards because you've paid those off before you retire. And then for utilities, we're going to leave that at $500, groceries at $750, gas for your car at $150, and let's just slide on down here. And then we will leave $150 on your car insurance. So that puts us at $2,050 compared to $4,950 that we had in the scenario with debt. So if we add all that up on the scenario without debt, we're at $2,050, put in the Social Security of $2,803. That means you've got a surplus of $753. And then again, if you have other income that you want to factor in there from other, investments that you've made, and that will help increase the amount of money that you have left over each month. So as you can see, going into retirement with debt is likely a retirement killer, at least a retirement budget killer. And if you've got little or nothing saved, that's really not a feasible scenario. So again, it's time to be honest with ourselves. Let's, be part of reality here and determine where we are, and let's put a budget together. But you've got to get your own numbers to know your situation to be able to put that budget together. So if you have not set up your SSA.gov account online, then you need to do that so that you can get your estimate of Social Security payments that you'll receive in retirement. And then you want to put that into a budget and plot out all the expenses. And I've created a spreadsheet that I've used for myself that allows me to plot out scenarios from age 62 all the way to age 70, the various ages that you might claim Social Security. And if you would like a copy of this budget for yourself, just throw the word budget down in the comments and I will send a link to you in order to download that. So if you have not set up your own SSA.gov account online, then you should watch this video next so that you can get your account set up so that you have the numbers to plug into the budget spreadsheet and to build out your scenario so you can determine how and if you can retire on Social Security alone.